Rev it up and welcome to Cars Yeah, show number 2036. Be prepared to be inspired.
This is Cars Yeah, where you'll enjoy interviews with inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Mark Green is here to provide you with a fuel injection of automotive inspiration. So get in, sit down, buckle up, and get ready for a wild ride here on Cars Yeah.
Hello, inspiring automotive enthusiasts, and welcome to Cars Yeah. Today I'm in beautiful sunny Scottsdale, Arizona, with a very special guest by the name of Alpio Barbara. Alpio, welcome to Cars Yeah. Do you have it in gear, and are you ready to release the clutch?
Let's do it.
All right, we're going to have some fun today. Now, before I give you a proper introduction, what's one little thing that maybe most people don't know about you, Alpio?
Well, first of all, most of them don't know my last name. They think my name is Al and then Pio. But people don't know that I'm sort of an open book, but, I don't flaunt my stuff.
Yeah.
Except, of course I have cars and coffee, so you got to show some stuff. But I'm just a regular tire man.
That's what we're going to talk a little bit about in our show today, but you're also very involved in philanthropic activities and helping others and bringing car people together. So let me give you a proper introduction and we'll dive into your world. Alpio, yes, that's a very unique name. Alpio Barbara is the president of Redwood General Tire in Redwood City, California. Now, you'll say, wait a minute, we're in Arizona. Yep, he lives there too. It's a great place to hang out with car people. He started his tire business in 1969 as a tire installer, working part-time, and then in 85, he became a partner in Redwood General Tire. And in 2000, he bought his partner out, who had retired, and started running the show himself. He was named Tire Dealer of the Year by Modern Tire Dealers back in 2019, and he was named Top Tire Shop by Tire Review. Alpio is very involved in his community and was president of the Police Activities League, where they raised over $4.2 million to build a facility for underprivileged youth. In 2017, he started Cars and Coffee in Scottsdale and has raised close to $300,000 for Phoenix Children's Hospital at St. Vincent de Paul. And this year, he's committed to 2 dental labs to help underprivileged receive free dental care. So here's another car guy that knows the secret to life, giving back to others. We'll be back in just a moment, but first a word from our sponsors. So keep the seatbelts on. We'll be right back. Covercraft has the most complete line of custom seat covers available. Choose between the Polycotton Seat Savers, Endura Precision Fit custom seat covers, Leatherette Precision Fit custom seat covers, and their durable Carhartt seat covers. They're all easy to install and remove, and guess what? They're machine washable too. Easy cleanup to make them look brand new. No more worries about the kids spilling on your seats or your pets damaging your expensive upholstery or leather. Covercraft's quality seat covers protect from damaging pet claws, pet fur, hair, mud, moisture, food, drink spills, drool from permanently damaging your vehicle's fine surfaces. Headrest and armrest covers and color options are also available on many of the styles. And I've got a great offer for you. If you use the code YEAH21, YEAH21 at covercraft.com, they'll give you 10% off plus free shipping. That's right, 10% off and free shipping with the code YEAH21 at checkout. Covercraft, protecting the things that move you. Visit covercraft.com today. Last year, I changed my collector car coverage to American Collectors Insurance. That's who now protects my Porsche Turbo, the one I call my Orange Crush. But did you know they also insure your valuable collections of automobilia and other collectibles? If you're like me, you've invested in a lot of cool collectibles over the years. Those items are valuable. And if you were to lose them in a theft or a fire, well, try to get your normal homeowner's insurance to pay you what they're worth. Good luck with that. American Collectors Insurance provides you with assurance and confidence that your collectibles are fully covered. They insure a lot of items, including automobilia, wine, baseball cards, books, figurines, die-cast models, model trains, glassware, sports memorabilia, toys, and a whole lot more. American Collectors Insurance, they've been protecting us enthusiasts since 1976. They provide you with an agreed value insurance policy backed by a long history of taking care of their clients. Give them a call today for your personal agreed value quote at 866-ACI-YEAH. That's 866 224-9324. Tell them you're a friend of mine, Mark Rains here at Cars Yeah, American Collectors Insurance. Classic car insurance designed by collectors for collectors. Automotive enthusiasts just like you and me. That's American Collectors Insurance. So Alpio, we are back. So let's talk a little bit first about your tire wheel business, because that's where you kind of got your start, or you did get your start. And I love your story because you built your way up from cracking tires, breaking tires. Is that the right term? Breaking tires, breaking the beads?
Pretty much. Yeah, that's a good term. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is tough work. Holy cow. I watch those guys work on my cars, taking care of people's cars. So let's kind of walk through that early career. And then I want to move forward into this Cars and Coffee. And you have a very cool venue there in Scottsdale where people can rent it out for parties and events and so forth. So take us on a little drive through your life, would you?
Sure. In 1969, when I graduated out of high school, I wanted to be a police officer. And so I was going to be a police officer, and injured my knee pretty severely, and it was very difficult to pass the physical. So I continued. I got a job and worked at a place called Howard Tire in Belmont, California. And I did that, and then physical therapy for my knee and so on and so forth. Then I worked at Belmont Police Department for 10 years. But I still continued to work in the tire industry. I've only had two jobs. The one that I worked at, Howard Tire, the police department, and then the one I bought in 1985 as a partner, and then bought out my partner in 2000. So I've always been in the tire business my entire life. I guess you could say I bleed carbon black, in the tires. So tire business has been very good to me. It's a lot of hard work. You mentioned earlier you've seen some of the tire installers working hard. Well, compared to the way we changed tires back then, they got it pretty good now, because we have some tire machines at our store. They're like $15,000 a piece, and all you do is put the wheel on the machine, and the tire machine does the rest. So I always give them a bad time how easy it is.
Yeah, so that proverbial, when I was a kid, you would believe we had to walk uphill both ways to work in the snow.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, when I first started in the business, again, changing tires in 1969, we had 13 sizes of tires. That's it. From A7813 to a L7815. Then it changed, and for example, now there's one size has a part number. It has 13 different part numbers. Whether they fit an Audi, Volvo, a Porsche, they're all the same size. It's just that the manufacturer wants a different siding on their tire. They want a different sidewall marking on their tire, and so on. Once before the shortage that we have now, the manufacturers used to call us up and say, "Hey, Alpio, you want to buy 500 of these tires? I'll give you a special deal." We'd buy them, and they would fit on every car. We didn't go by part number. If a 205, 65, 16 fit on a certain car, and it was made for that car, and the speed rating and so on, load range, we'd put it on. So it's really interesting now. For example, in my store, I probably have around $550,000 worth of inventory. And the reason I even bring that up is because every day I probably order 3,000 to 4,000 of special order tires that I don't have in stock, which means that you come in with your 991, you might come in with your Ferrari, you might come in with whatever car, and I may not stock 10 or 12 sets of those tires. So I've got to special order them, because how many times does a guy pull in a Ferrari, for example? So that's what I'm talking about, special order tires. The truck stuff, we got, lots of tires for those. But and so what I'm saying is there's so many different sizes and applications.
It's gotten really complicated for us consumers, because now luckily there's the internet now, so you can go and do a lot of research. You can also get on forums and talk to people who run specific tires and say, what do you think? What was it like? So you're not unpleasantly surprised when you get a tire and you go, man, these things are loud. This is obnoxious. Say it's for your SUV or something like that. But and even I buy my tires. Well, I used to buy my tires through online, and now I buy them just over at the local Costco. But every time I go there, they have to order them. They never have them. I just kind of learned to expect that part of the deal. But the tire industry has really, really radically changed. And I'll tell you, with what's been going on with supply chain, has that become a big problem for you?
It has. Not only is the supply chain difficult, but so is the shipping. For example, I still get tires from my friends down here in Scottsdale because they know I'm in the business. They say, hey, can you help me out? And I help them out. I mean, I don't have a store here. I don't have any overhead, so I get the tires, and I save them a couple $100, $250 sometimes. So the problem is like FedEx picked up 12 tires at my store about a month ago. 12 tires all at the same time. It took 2 weeks to get all 12 tires back here in Scottsdale.
Wow.
Now, you're only talking 846 miles from my store to here.
Yeah.
Because they get to the FedEx would pick them up, put them in their warehouse. They might ship 2 one day, 1 the next day,
Oh, yeah.
2 the next.
Yeah.
So not only is the product hard to find, it's the shipping, the logistics. Now, we're a large store in California. We're one of the biggest independent single store operators in the country. So we could really try to find whatever tire, whoever's got one that we might need that someone else doesn't have, and help each other out. And I may have something that someone needs that I ship to him, or we ship it right to their customer because we have a good network going on. So, the independent tire dealer really tries to help his customer out. Whether you buy a tire in Redwood City and then you have a problem with it in Scottsdale, and if you go to a dealer that is a Tire Pro chain, for example, it's a franchise, but we're still independent tire dealers. We're more of a marketing group. I'd call him up, a good friend of mine out here, his name was Howard. I would say, Howard, do you have this, this, and this? He said, yeah, my store here has it. And we'd help him out because we're all together. But the manufacturer is having a hard time because they haven't caught up. Now, hopefully they'll catch up with the shortage of the automobile.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were building tires for the trucks and cars and so on. And if they're not selling them, they're going to have
no
a lot
need
of
for
tires.
tire. Yeah, they don't need to order tires. So it's been a terrible chain. And that kind of explains to me something that happened with the last set of tires. I bought tires for my BMW, both my BMWs, and they said, look, we can't promise when they're going to get here. And I said, what are you talking about? And they just looked at me and said, don't you know what's going on in the world? And I go, well, yeah, but today that's not my problem. That's your problem. But you know what I mean? And yeah, I think 2 of them showed up one day, like a week later, and then another 1 showed up, and then the other 3, I'm like, what is going on? And he said, well, same thing you just described, Alpio. And he said, the other problem now is all of a sudden prices for shipping because fuel prices are going through the roof. So it's just this chain of things that are making people like you have a really lot of sleepless nights, I would think, in trying to run a business.
You're absolutely right, because being in the car world down here, we just had our auction week in January, and I was talking to the gentleman that I bought my lifts from, my car lifts, and 6, 7, 8 years ago, I bought 2 of them. They were $32.95, and now they're $79.95.
Oh, yeah.
And I go, why did they go up so much, Tony? The container that used to cost $5,000 now costs $20,000 to come over here.
This is all, well, we could talk for hours about this, but
same thing with our tires, because, not all our tires are made in the U.S. They're made all over, and then they get, shipped. And this was one of my things about, when I don't want to drop any names, but some of the chains, for example, 4 for $99. Well, that's impossible. I mean, I don't want to buy a tire 4 for $99 because it's made in China or wherever. Just imagine, a tire is $25. You got to ship it. You got to container it. You got to do this. You got to do that. I mean, how good is that tire?
Exactly. Now, tires are, I've always believed, maybe I'm unique, but I always loved the smell of new tires in my garage in the morning. It made me feel safe and comfortable. I live where it rains a lot, so having good tires is really important here, especially for my family.
Well, that's the only thing to do in the road,
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's talk about your event center, because what you've done there in Scottsdale, you moved to Scottsdale, you still have your California business, you're having fun there in the sun, but you decided, you know what, I'm not just going to sit here and have fun and play golf and swim in my pool. I'm going to create a unique event center. Tell us about it.
Well, the event center really started as my man cave. And I've been collecting stuff for years. And my thought was, I'm going to collect it, and then when I get to a certain age, I'm going to start selling it off. And so I was having lunch one day, and I saw this building, and I said, I'll go look at it. And the building was, I couldn't believe the price. I said, don't forget, I'm coming from California.
Yeah.
And so I made a deal with the gentleman, and then it's going to be my event space, or I should say my man cave. And I built it and put my cars in, and then this gentleman comes in, and he says, I want to have my birthday party here. I said, well, it's not really an event. It's not an event center. It's just my man cave. And he kept, coming in here. When he had lunch across the street, he'd come in and so on. And I said, Bill, it's not an event space. I said, it's my man cave. He said, what if I give you $500 to have my birthday here? I go, when's your birthday?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you start going, oh, interesting. I could offset the cost of this building. Yeah.
And that's how it started. And matter of fact, his birthday's coming up in May 14th. It's his 80th birthday.
Wow.
And we're having we had his first birthday party at 75.
Nice.
So 5 years ago, that's how I remember exactly when I opened it up. It was on Bill's birthday, and Bill now is my best friend.
Oh.
And
cool.
I go to coffee with him 3 times a week. Matter of fact, I just got this morning before we came online here. And Bill's my best friend, and then I turned it into an event space, an event center, and then my friends that we have coffee with on Tuesday and Fridays, I said, hey guys, would you support a Cars and Coffee? There was like maybe 10 or 15 of us. And I said, if you guys just get 1 or 2 each of your friends. And we did. We started it the second Saturday of the month. And the reason we started the second Saturday of the month is because there was already one on the first and one on the third and the second. So I figured,
you filled that slot.
Yeah, so we did. And then one day I said, I'm going to put a tip jar out there just to offset the cost. And then we collected $64. Well, that was easy. Pull out $100, and you match the fund. Then I said, let's just collect the money instead of it's not that much for coffee and donuts and so on, and we'll raise the money, and we can make $1,000, $2,000. We'll donate it to a charity. Well, last month we raised $1,400, and I have, of course, I match it, so now it's $2,800. Nice. And then what I do is I go and I get other people to either match what I collected at least once a month, or not every month, but at least once a year on a certain month they could pick. I said, you guys pick the month you want, and okay, I'll sponsor July. And then now what I do is I sell for $500 a year, and I put their decal on this board that shows how much money we collected. Last year, I met with St. Vincent de Paul. Everyone needs money. Phoenix Children's Hospital, every organization needs money. But I picked St. Vincent de Paul because their administrative costs are covered by another donor, which means when I collect my money, all of it goes to what I really want it to go to. Nice. And so I had a little dinner meeting here with some of my friends and wives and donors and so on. And that night, we collected $64,000. Wow. And the $4,000 is going to a $100,000 goal to build this dental lab in St. Vincent's for the underprivileged. Well, by the time, and this was going to be for 22, and I mentioned to St. Vincent's to give me 2 years to raise the $100,000. Well, by the time January 2022 came around, I had the $100,000 already secured. Bravo. So we were there doing a tour of the facility. One of my colleagues sent me a text. He goes, let's do another one. I looked at him. I said, let's do it. So we've committed to another $100,000 for 22-23. I asked him about, I said, give me 2 years on this one. So last Saturday, one of the car and coffee friends that came up was talking about it, and he's already committed another $50,000. Whoa. So now I have raised $50,000 this year, and I got my $100,000 again. This is for not students, but underprivileged, that when they go to school, their teeth are so bad that they have their hand over their mouth, and they're afraid to raise their hand up because the teacher will call them, and they have to talk, and they got teeth missing and so on. So what is so great about St. Vincent's is that they're one dentist, a DDS, and a retired dentist. Then we have students. They're in dental school. Like there was 4 dentists that are there in dental school, a hygienist, and so on and so forth. And then they move up the ranks. So when the dentist becomes the dentist, then he leaves, but he also comes back to volunteer. The dental hygienist will go to become a physician's assistant, and they come back. So the way the dental lab, we call it, is really a dental chair in a 3/4, like when you go to the dentist, that little one area that you're in. Right. So what we're going to do, and they've already have, I can count 4 of them, like the Arizona Coyotes, the Arizona Diamondbacks, the Waste Management. What they do is they put wallpaper up there of whether it's the Arizona Diamondbacks baseball field or whether it's the Waste Management, the 16th hole at Waste Management. So when you're in the chair, you're not looking at a wall and waiting to get paint. So what we're going to do is have pictures from our cars and coffee wrapped in our area. And that way the kids can look at the cars and people and what have you.
Nice.
So to take the pain away. And so that's what, that's where our money is going. Again, like I said, we did Phoenix Children's Hospital, but so many people are given to Phoenix and not enough people are given to St. Vincent's. And so it's not that we don't want to give to Phoenix. We're just going to give it to St. Vincent's for the next couple of years, and then we'll regroup.
This is tremendous, and it's something that I've learned after interviewing so many people on the show is when we're giving away things to others and helping others in any way we can, whether you have a big checkbook or a small one or your time, whatever it might be, that's what makes us the most happy as human beings. And you figured that out a long time ago, my friend, and my hat's off to you and the car community down there for what they're doing. We'll take a short break. We come back. We'll talk a little bit about a challenge perhaps, so keep that thought in mind, and we'll be right back. AutoGeek's Blackfire SiO2 Spray Sealant. It's a spray-on, wipe-off sealant that's quick, safe, and easy to clean and protect your vehicles. I love using it on all my cars. AutoGeek's Blackfire SiO2 Spray Sealant is a spray-on, wipe-away sealant that uses SiO2 ingredients to provide a slick, brilliant, and long-lasting shine. Silicon dioxide is known to be one of the most effective ingredients in car care products, and Blackfire Spray Sealant takes advantage of every stunning feature it has to offer. This sealant will protect your paint from road film, dirt, and other common contaminants while providing an impeccable, long-lasting, hydrophobic surface that forces water to sheet and bead on your paint for months. Go to autogeek.net to get yours and for the best product selections on the internet today, along with their skilled technical support. Autogeek.net is where I go for all my detailing needs. That's autogeek.net. Check them out today. TechForce is a charity of choice here at Cars Yeah. Auto techs are in high demand, but the supply, it's critically short. For every one tech who graduates school, there's 5 jobs waiting for them. Said another way, 4 technician jobs go unfilled for every technician graduate. Lots of young people love cars, but don't know how to turn that passion into their careers. TechForce Foundation shows them through career exploration, technical education, and the workforce development solutions. Join Cars Yeah in supporting TechForce Foundation and its mission to solve the technician shortage by donating at techforce.org today. Let's talk about this because coming up against challenges, obstacles, we all go through that, but it's really how we deal with it and how we use that as a learning lesson. That's why I like to ask this question. So could you share maybe one of those real challenging times in your life and how you turned that around into a great learning experience, no matter how painful it might have been?
Yes, it was about 1987, 88, and Costco, which was Price Club back then, moved into my area. And everyone was panicking. And then a few years later, America's Tire, Discount Tires, you would know them nationwide, moved in 50 feet next door to me. And the reason I say 50 feet is because I own the lot next door between me and America's Tire in California. So all we really did is we just shifted into not that we didn't have customer service, but we really shifted into customer service even more. And what we told our customers, of course, they go next door and they literally go next door. And we just told them everything that we did. We wanted them to let us take control of their car. That way you don't have to go someplace else and say, hey, look, the alignment is out, but I didn't do it. The guy up the street did it. So I say, if the alignment was out and we did a bad alignment, we're going to take responsibility. We wanted to bring your car to us. We're going to change the oil. So every 3,000 miles, we're going to rotate your tires. So we just went more into
service mode.
Absolutely. And we were already there, but it was more so than ever before. And we've just continued to grow. Competition is good. You're not going to get every single customer in the world. You're going to get customers that think you're too much money or whatever. A matter of fact, I had one lady one time, and she's still a customer of mine, but she only buys tires from me because her bill for her Mercedes was $600 less than it was at Mercedes, and she didn't think I did all the work.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Step by step of what we did, I said, I don't charge you for taking a test drive. I don't charge you for lubing your door jams. And I went through the whole, and she wasn't comfortable. I said, that's fine. She goes, but I'll still buy tires from you, Alpio. And I said, wonderful. Yeah. That's fine. A little profit is better than no profit. So, she's cars, and we chuckle, and of course now she's into a Lexus, and they take care of everything and whatever. But it's fine. And so, but we just went into a more of a service mode, and there's no reason why anything wrong with your car that we can't fix. The only thing, if it's a warranty item and it's a no charge, then we would tell our customer to take it to the dealer. But one thing that we have, and we have a sign in our store, is that once you buy the car, you don't have to take it back to the dealer, even though the dealer tells them they have to bring it back to them to maintain their warranty. That's false.
Yeah, no, that's the thing that a lot of people don't know about. And, I've got great mechanics around here for different vehicles that I've had. And, you're always going to have that price shopping customer who only cares about price, and they don't realize the added benefit until it's too late. And then they go, should have stuck with Alpio. But I agree with you. Competition is good. And when you're buying the same tire from multiple options, then you've got to do something extra to keep people coming into you. And I like the personal care that I get from the people that take care of my cars. And there's a loyalty that builds up. And I'm a picky guy. I'm like you. I really like my cars. And a lot of people come in, like I even clean my car before I take it in for service, because I want the guy. Yeah, I want the guy working on it to know this guy's a maniac. So I'll do his car right. Other people don't care. Yeah.
Right. And I had a customer, and you can't judge a book by its cover. I had a customer one time come in, and we worked on his 1963 Ford Galaxy.
Nice.
After we were all done with it, he said, are you the owner? I said, yes, I am. He says, can I speak to you? I said, yes. And so he said, can we go in your office? I said, yes. Of course, my stomach's turning, thinking, okay, we did
what happened? Yeah.
We closed the door and so on and so forth. And he says, well, one thing I want to talk to you about. I said, yeah. And my stomach is now really tight.
Yeah.
And he goes, your store did such a great job on my car. I want to know if you'd like to take care of my other cars. And I said, absolutely. What do you have? He goes, well, I own a plumbing company with 43 trucks.
Oh,
I damn near fell out of my.
There you go. There you go.
So our biggest trouble and our biggest obstacle, if you really want to know the truth in a tire business especially, is our distributors and our manufacturers. And what I mean by that is, if you hung up a sign that said Mark Green's Auto Repair, they'd come and try to have you sell tires. You don't have any training, and they sell tires to anybody. And that's the biggest we have in our industry, is that, I mean, for God's, and not that I want any more regulations, but if you go get a manicure or a haircut.
I know, they've got to have a proper license and training for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We don't in our, you just hang the sign up, and I've been fighting on this when I was on all these boards that I was on, and the manufacturers look at you like, what are you, some kind of whack job? And I used to tell them, I said, you can't put a H-rated tire on a Z-rated car. I used to use it as an analogy is, hey, you could dress up in a tuxedo, Mark, and wear tennis shoes. You can wear the best Nike tennis shoes you can find. It'll look really good, but you can't dance.
Well, I think you hit a really important point there. And you're talking about safety because, again, I said it earlier, tires are the only point that touches the car between you and the road, and they've got to be the right tires. And we've all heard that. I've seen it at tracks on driver's education days, guys blowing out tires, and you look at the tire they put on their Porsche or even a Ferrari in one case, and you go, why did you do that? Well, they were cheaper. Okay, well, now how cheap is that wall you just hit? Yeah, well, I agree with you. I think it's a very important thing. So I want to hear about a special vehicle in your life, Alpio. No doubt you've had a few cool cars in your day. Is there one that really stands out?
Oh, it's a good question. Boy, that's a great question. It's like the car that I drive that day. But gosh,
could be your first car. Could be
my first car was a 1955 green Chevy 4-door, and I thought I was cool cat, and I waxed it and everything. I've been blessed. Gosh, I don't have a single car that I think is better than the other. And I'm looking at them, and And, you know, I've got it's a tough one. I guess my first Ferrari, you know, my 360, I guess you could say, because it was my first Ferrari that I've ever owned.
Yeah.
And I was pretty cool in that. So, yeah, I could say my first Ferrari 360, even though I've had 911s and a 911 SC way back when, it was just like a Porsche, but the Ferrari always had that, boy, it's a Ferrari, you know. And
I got to drive a 360 for 4 days during the Cavallino event years ago. A customer actually loaned me his Ferrari at the airport. I got to drive it for 4 days to all the events for the Cavallino event back there. And that was pretty darn fun. I've driven Ferraris before, but I haven't spent some time with one. And it's always something special about a Ferrari. That's for sure.
No. When I went to Maranello and went to the Ferrari factory, thanks to Pirelli, and I met Luca. And he came up to me and he goes, Alpio. And I said, yes. And I said, welcome. And of course, Pirelli, you know, and so he said, what kind of Ferrari do you have? So I told him, and he goes, you know, that's my favorite Ferrari. I said, no, you're just saying that. He says, no. I walked into the factory when I, you know, started the tour, and there was a 360 Ferrari. And he goes, now do you believe me?
Yeah.
And I guess. And, yeah, so, you know, I've never ever said that what my very special vehicle was, because I love them all, but I guess you got it out of me that, you know, we keep talking, and yeah, my first Ferrari would be a special one, yeah.
I think so. So I'm going to be your car psychologist and kind of crawl into your head a little bit here, all right? If you were manifest as a vehicle, what would you be and why? And of course, the most important part of this question is it's not what you want to be. It's how you perceive the man in the mirror. You got to look deep into your soul here, Alpio, the kind of guy that you are manifest as a car.
I'd want to be the Ferrari. I like that sound, that natural sound of when you accelerate, and especially, and this is going to be very controversial, a gated shifter guy versus a paddle shifter. I like the sound when I paddle shift, because I can just go boom, boom, boom. Versus paddle shifting, I couldn't do it as fast as the car sounds.
Right, yeah.
And one leaves the pit and gets on there, you could just hear that thing shift, and nothing's better than that sound. So I'd want to be that.
Very cool. So is there a great book you'd like to share with us today that you really enjoyed?
A book?
Yeah, a book. This could be a business book, could be a car book, could be any kind of book.
Lee Iacocca's book way back when, and it's always stuck with me.
Definitely a great book that's been recommended here. So before I let you go today, Alpio, I'm going to let you go on the ultimate drive. This is kind of a fun thing. Now, you've probably been on a lot of cool drives. You've had a lot of great cars, but today's different. I'm going to buy you any car in the world. Old, new, whatever, open checkbook. Don't worry about the price. I'm going to park it in your garage. You get to be and go on this drive with anybody in the world, living or somebody who's passed. So that opens it up to a broad range of folks. And you could be driving anywhere you would like. So what does the ultimate drive look like for a guy like you?
Well, I went onto this peak to peak in Colorado half a dozen years ago. I'd love to have Luca in the right-hand passenger seat from Ferrari and just going through the mountains up in Colorado, Independence Pass, Telluride, places like that where you can really open up the car, and you're not going to be in and out of traffic. You're just a 2-lane highway by yourself, and no one's in danger, you know, except yourself. You got to be careful. Yeah. And that would be my ultimate ride.
So obviously you guys are going to be in a Ferrari. So which model, when money's no object now, is it going to be an old classic or a new car?
No, it's going to be my 458. I love my 458. That's as high as I went into the Ferrari world. I've got I've got all the 3 Series and the 365 GTC that I have is a great car, but it doesn't have the sound that the 458 has.
Yeah, I love it.
The 65 is something you take your wife in or your girlfriend, and she's not going to say, man, this car's loud. But that 458, man, that sounds great. Yeah. That sounds great.
That sounds like a nice drive. You know, you're the only one who's picked Luca as a driving companion, which I'm kind of surprised given how many people I've talked to who love Ferraris. That sounds like a wonderful trip. You've taken us on a wonderful trip today, and I can't thank you enough for sharing your incredibly fun life that you've created. Before I let you go, could you share maybe a success quote or a mantra? Now, I know you guys have a great saying at your tire store. The only pressure you'll get from us is your tires. So I had to mention that one because I love it. Whoever came up with that was brilliant. Is there a great piece of wisdom you might share for us today? Words of inspiration?
Don't be afraid to change. That's my other one that I use in the store. I tell for my customers, I tell them the only pressure you get from us is in your tires. And I started that. And the other one I would say to any employer to tell to their employees, don't be afraid of change, because if it doesn't work, change back.
I like the play on words here too, because you do have to change your tires. So nicely done.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a great saying. I love it. So how can people learn more about what you're doing there in Scottsdale? I know you have a website.
They have a website. It's called Alpios at Troon. all1.com, ALPIOSATTROON.com. And the second Saturday of the month, we have Cars and Coffee throughout the year. We don't take a break in the summer, just come up earlier. It starts 7 to 10, even though they're starting to show up at 5:30 because they want to get a spot. And come on up, I'll buy a cup of coffee and give you a donut hole.
What? There you go. Smart guy. You're cool. Also, listeners, if you're up in the area, Redwood General Tire in Redwood City, I'll put a link to that as well. That is the place to go to get new rollers on your vehicle for sure. Alpio, thank you for spending wonderful time with me today. I really appreciate it. Can't wait to get back to Scottsdale and visit with you. Until you and I talk again, my friend, I'll see you down the road.
Thank you very much, and you're always welcome.
All right, I'll be there. I've discovered Linkage. It's a new quarterly publication and website that covers the automotive market, driving, restoring, collecting, and discovering your passion for motor vehicles. Linkage is about experiences, opinions, and values. Linkage is an actual informed, reasoned opinion based on first-hand experiences. A talented Linkage team covers the automotive world, the people who share your passion and mine, smart, considered, rational, and experienced opinions, ones you can learn from and grow. That includes our passion that drives auctions and the collector car market. So come with me and join us on this journey. And be sure to use the code CARSYEAH when you subscribe, and they'll give you $10 off. Boom! Linkage, geared for the automotive life. Subscribe today at linkagemag.com.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's ride here at Cars Yeah. Drive on over to carsyeah.com to find show notes and inspiring automotive fun. Download your free copy of Filler Up, a fun book filled with gorgeous photographs of fuel filler fun, including quotes from more inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Download your copy today, and we'll see you next time on Cars Yeah.